Do you know what actually makes a girl who ruthlessly left you suddenly start missing you like crazy? It is absolutely not about begging, and it is not about posting sad stuff online or trying to make her jealous. It is just one single, powerful thing you do right after she is gone. Have you ever wondered how to turn the tables and transform your deepest pain into the ultimate psychological weapon? The real game only begins when you finally recognize the absolute truth about your own worth. Let's rewind time and recall that fateful day, the very moment she coldly broke up with you and walked away. Everything around you seemed to collapse, the sky darkened, and you were left drowning in an indescribable, suffocating panic. The days that followed were an endless, waking nightmare as you slid deep into the mud of self-torment and misery. You locked yourself inside 4 narrow walls, completely neglected your career and passions, sought toxic oblivion in bitter alcohol, and stayed awake for countless nights just staring blankly at your phone screen. Why does our complex human brain tend to ruthlessly sabotage our physical and mental well-being when we lose someone we deeply love? According to the renowned psychologist Roy Baumeister, an independent scientific source, his extensive research on a phenomenon called ego depletion proves that severe emotional pain drastically weakens human self-control, making individuals highly susceptible to negative self-destructive behaviors just to escape a harsh reality. You craved a tiny bit of information from her so much that it nearly drove you insane. You constantly checked every single one of her social media platforms, and you even agonizingly questioned mutual friends, just to know exactly what she was doing and who she was spending time with. But do you realize the harsh, undeniable truth of your actions? Your constant presence, your desperate availability, and your pathetic eagerness only made you as normal and unnoticeable as the air, a basic necessity she comfortably took for granted, but never once truly appreciated. If you have ever experienced emotional pain so deep that you wanted to give up on absolutely everything after a traumatic breakup, comment, "I have been there," below, so we know that we are not fighting this battle alone. This is exactly the deadliest, most monumental mistake that you, along with countless other lovesick men, frequently make after your world shatters. You might have physically stopped seeing her, but your mouth simply could not stop talking about her to every single person around you. You vividly told your friends every agonizing detail of the breakup. You desperately posted vague, sad quotes online, and you obsessively talked about what went wrong 1,000 times over. Do you realize that every single time you utter her name out loud, you are voluntarily handing over your power and keeping her alive as a dominant ghost inside your own mind? Dr. Andrew Huberman, a distinguished neuroscientist at Stanford University, an independent scientific source, neurobiologically explains that constantly recalling a painful emotional memory physically strengthens the neural pathways associated with that exact trauma, effectively keeping you permanently trapped in a vicious cycle of suffering. And then, inevitably, all those pathetic complaints and sorrowful words get carried straight back to her ears through your mutual friends. When she hears the news that you are still completely devastated over her, she will smirk with sheer satisfaction and think to herself, "Good, he still cares. I still have him completely under my control. If I want him back, I can summon him anytime." You have just directly showed her that no matter how horribly she treated you, you are still a weak, dependent man sitting there obediently waiting for her return. Are you genuinely willing to let someone disrespect and trample on your core masculine pride so easily? It is time to aggressively stop complaining and venting about the past to protect your self-esteem. Leave a short comment. Stop venting right now if you strongly agree with this mindset. Instead of continuously drowning in an ocean of misery, truly strong and formidable men choose a completely different elevated path. Your very first move, which is also the most decisive and undeniably the hardest one, is this: completely and utterly disappear from her entire existence. No desperate text asking how she is, no pathetic drunk calls, no comments on her pictures, no watching her daily stories, and absolutely no begging mutual friends for updates about her life. Will completely cutting off all forms of contact like this make her quickly forget about you forever? The absolute answer is no. In fact, behavioral science and stark reality have proven the exact opposite. Your sudden absence becomes tremendously louder and more deafening than your presence ever was. Dr. Helen Fisher, a world-renowned biological anthropologist who extensively studies the brain in love, an independent scientific source, scientifically explains that when abruptly deprived of a highly familiar source of romantic affection, the human brain enters a frantic state of frustration attraction, which actually makes the biochemical desire to seek out the lost target intensely stronger. When you suddenly vanish into thin air as if you never existed, her previously complacent brain violently wakes up and frantically wonders, "Where did he go? Why is not he texting me anymore?" Think about it exactly like a comfortable toy you play with every single day. You do not think about it much at all, but if someone suddenly takes that toy away forever, suddenly it is all you can ever think about. What is the ultimate, hidden psychological secret here? Can you possibly guess? Absolute silence is sometimes a man's most terrifying, unpredictable, and powerful weapon. Will you boldly choose to disappear completely? Comment "I am silent" to initiate this mental purification process. You are absolutely not disappearing to play childish psychological games or to desperately trick her. You are entirely disappearing to fundamentally fix and elevate yourself. When you ruthlessly focus all your remaining energy onto yourself, regardless of whether she comes back or not, you are going to be extraordinarily okay. That self-sufficient, fiercely independent energy is exactly the specific catalyst that makes her genuinely regret everything. From this day forward, whenever anyone curiously asks about the dramatic situation, you simply smile calmly and state, "I am focused on other things now." Short, calm, completely done. If an instigator tries to bring it up to hunt for drama details, you smoothly change the subject, you provide zero explaining, absolutely no venting, and you strictly give her zero space in any of your conversations. Are you fully ready to witness the exact moment when regret starts creeping into her brain like an unstoppable venom? When that specific person definitively hears that you are not talking about them, not posting sad things about them, and crucially not falling apart without them, a massive psychological shift clicks in their brain. Her inflated pride takes a catastrophic hit, and the panicked voice inside her head starts echoing, "Wait, are they actually okay? They moved on already. Did I profoundly mess up?" It is precisely within this deafening silence that you will execute a monumental breakthrough that entirely changes the trajectory of your existence. Flawlessly controlling your own emotions and words in front of other people is the absolute greatest lesson of masculine maturity. Please comment "I control" to proudly show you are mastering the grand game of life. You aggressively enter the phase of leveling up, not as a petty act to get revenge on her, but as a mandatory, glorious privilege for yourself. You fiercely hit the gym, lifting heavier weights, letting the pouring sweat wash away every single drop of weakness, depression, and past frustration. You passionately learn new things, you relentlessly grind to master difficult skills, and you finally pick up those fascinating hobbies you always wanted to try but foolishly sacrificed for the relationship. You spend highly quality time with the loyal people who actually appreciate your presence. You bravely confront the darkest parts of yourself that you previously ignored, you fix them, you build unshakable confidence, and you start to naturally smile and laugh more than you ever thought possible. Modern clinical psychology refers to this grueling but beautiful transformation as post-traumatic growth, an independent scientific source, extensively researched by Dr. Richard Tidishi and Dr. Lawrence Calhoun. This phenomenon scientifically proves that human beings can reach their absolute highest threshold of mental and emotional strength precisely after experiencing extreme, shattering adversity. You meticulously forge yourself into the incredibly masculine, wildly successful, and fiercely independent person you always desired to be. And what miraculous, universally inevitable event will happen next, do you know? The intense process of leveling up and entirely rebuilding yourself is never a comfortable road, but the ultimate reward is legendary. What specific trait are you focusing on improving right now? Comment to share your journey with everyone. The people surrounding you begin to massively notice and marvel at your stunning transformation. Your friends clearly see you are entirely different, significantly happier, physically stronger, and radiating an undeniable, magnetic confidence. Then one day, absolute destiny will arrange the perfect scenario. The girl who cruelly left you will inevitably have to witness that very greatness. Maybe she randomly scrolls and sees a picture of you looking absolutely amazing and sharp on social media. Maybe she hears from mutual friends, whose voices are filled with genuine awe, that you are thriving and doing spectacularly great in life. Or the ultimate climax, she randomly runs into you on the street, and she stands completely frozen, entirely unable to comprehend that the glowing, highly attractive man standing before her was the exact same pathetic guy who once begged her to stay. Right in that specific earth-shattering moment, her entire psychological defense system crashes down. Oh no, this is not what was scientifically supposed to happen. She arrogantly thought you would forever remain completely broken, eternally waiting, and perpetually lost without her presence. Why are you now visibly thriving, physically glowing, and looking astronomically happier than when you were supposedly happy with her? It is precisely in that exact second that sheer regret hits her like a massive speeding truck. Utter, paralyzing fear completely swallows her mind as she finally realizes the most terrifying truth of all: you absolutely do not need her anymore. Have you ever deeply experienced the incredible satisfaction of seeing someone who previously looked down on you widen their eyes in shock at your massive success? Comment: I have, to officially mark that moment of pure pride. She foolishly thought you would be perpetually waiting by the door, thinking she could effortlessly waltz back into your life anytime she wanted. But reality just delivered a brutal, stinging slap. You decisively moved on. You exponentially grew, you became vastly better, and right now she is the only one feeling entirely lost and abandoned. So, when the suffocating regret is completely drowning her, what exactly will her next move be? Can you accurately predict it? After a significant amount of time has passed since you vanished, after you ceased all talk about her, and after she painfully sees you doing amazing, she will predictably reach out. These are classically known as breadcrumbs, tiny, pathetic, microscopic pieces of attention they strategically throw at you just to desperately test if you will come running back like an obedient dog. It might be a vague text at 2 in the morning, "Hey, how have you been?" Or a lazy like on a photo from 3 years ago. It could be a random comment, or if she is truly panicking, a direct message stating, "I miss you." This is the absolute biggest, most dangerous psychological trap of all, and it is the exact test where the vast majority of men fail spectacularly right at the finish line. They become instantly overly excited, their hearts pounding out of their chests. Oh my god, she finally texted me. She misses me. She wants me back. Late-night breadcrumb messages from an ex are always the most excruciatingly tough psychological tests. How would you practically handle it when she randomly texts, "I miss you"? Comment your strategic solution down below. They frantically grab their phones, eagerly respond immediately, and instantly become 100% available again. Do you know that according to the foundational attachment theory, developed by the brilliant psychologist John Bowlby, an independent scientific source, the behavior of desperately responding immediately and eagerly jumping at superficial signals is a textbook manifestation of a highly anxious attachment style, utterly starved for basic affection. Just by hastily hitting send with excitement, all of your carefully constructed power, your entire aura of mystery, and your high value completely evaporate. She will smirk and think, okay, good. I still have him secured. I can take all my time because he is not going anywhere. Do you truly want to flush all your blood, sweat, and intense growth down the drain for one utterly meaningless, lazy text message? Absolutely not. When you inevitably receive those lazy, half-hearted breadcrumbs and random messages, you exclusively execute one of two choices fit for an absolute king. Option 1. You ruthlessly leave them on read, entirely ignoring them, visually showing her that her highly manipulative, little breadcrumbs simply do not work on you anymore. Option 2. If you fundamentally must respond for some reason, you keep it incredibly short, brutally cold, and profoundly uninterested. I am good, thanks. Becoming a completely unbothered, cold, and immensely proud man in the face of superficial sweet words is an absolute art form. Comment unbothered. To aggressively establish your mental boundaries, absolutely no questions directed back at her, absolutely no long emotional conversations explaining anything, and absolutely zero excitement. You firmly stay cool. You stay completely unbothered like a tranquil, freezing lake, and you stay fiercely busy constructing your own magnificent life. Because the brutal, undeniable truth of the universe is this: if she actually, genuinely wanted you back, if she truly felt agonizing regret for losing a man like you, she absolutely would not dare send a pathetic, lazy hey text. If she possessed any real sincerity, she would actively put in tremendous effort, profoundly apologize, transparently explain her monumental mistakes, and physically show up properly to earn your presence. Breadcrumbs are strictly for starving pigeons. Are you a pathetic, starving pigeon waiting to peck at emotional scraps? No, you are a formidable, high-value person who implicitly knows their immense worth down to the very cellular level. The final, most glorious step, which serves as your ultimate life philosophy, is this: you actively live your daily life precisely like you have already won the entire game. You do not live like you are desperately trying to win. You certainly do not live like you are pausing your life waiting for her to come back, and you absolutely do not live like you are trying to desperately prove a point to anyone. You entirely deserve someone who consistently puts in profound effort for you, not someone who merely drops emotional scraps. Do you strongly agree? Comment "I deserve the best" right now. You purely enjoy your glorious existence because you already intrinsically possess everything you could possibly need. You possess your own resilient self, you possess a brilliantly bright future, you possess loyal people who genuinely love you, and you possess massive goals, grand dreams, and an entire phenomenal life ahead of you. One single, unappreciative person leaving simply does not change a single fraction of any of that reality. When you project the aura of someone who has decisively won, the entire world sees it and intrinsically feels it. It acts exactly like a blindingly bright light radiating from deep inside your core. You are not desperate, you are entirely not needy, and you are absolutely no longer waiting around for someone to graciously choose you. Why on earth would you wait for someone else to choose you when you have already supremely chosen yourself? That realization is exactly what violently forces them to regret losing you more than anything else in this world. Because when they look from afar and see you genuinely happy, exuding immense confidence, and living your absolute best life, they will mentally scream in pure agony, "I previously had that amazing person. I possessed someone who was deeply loyal, caring, and phenomenal, and I foolishly let them go. What the hell was I thinking?" But the universe always has its deeply poetic, ironic twists. A man's ultimate aura purely comes from his unshakable internal confidence and total self-mastery. If you are determined to shine exactly like that, intensely comment self-mastery to permanently remember this golden guideline. By the exact time her slow, regretful mind finally figures it all out, you are already astronomically too far gone. You have successfully ascended to an entirely different stratosphere, permanently surrounded by vastly better, higher quality people, and you are intensely focused on significantly bigger, grander things. You are already profoundly, deeply in love with your own magnificent life. She firmly had her golden chance, and she catastrophically blew it. Now here lies the ultimate, cinematic plot twist of your entire life, the brutal, honest truth that almost nobody ever tells you. When you execute this entire masterclass perfectly, when you completely disappear like a ghost, dramatically level up into an elite version of yourself, and authentically stop caring, she might finally come crawling back, utterly full of regret, profusely apologizing, and desperately begging for just one more chance. But what exactly is the absolute most powerful, godlike moment for a man? Can you possibly imagine it? It is the exact moment you look directly into her eyes and coldly, calmly realize, you might not actually want her anymore. Coldly rejecting the exact person who previously abandoned you is the absolute most satisfying peak of masculine maturity. Do you currently have the cold resolve to reject them? Comment I accept letting go if you are fiercely ready to walk forward. Throughout that dark, excruciating period when she was gone, you independently realized a blindingly brilliant, life-altering truth. Your existence is actually vastly better, infinitely happier, and profoundly more peaceful without her toxic presence. You are happier, your physique is stronger, your mind is sharper, and your soul is far more tranquil. The magnificent elite person that you forged through pure blood, sweat, and immense pain while she was gone absolutely does not need the person who abandoned you to come back. That, my friend, is the real ultimate victory. True victory is absolutely not about getting petty revenge, and it is not about the fleeting satisfaction of making her crawl back. What is the absolute truth of a total victory? It is fundamentally becoming so breathtakingly amazing, so holistically complete, and so profoundly happy with your own self that whether she comes back or completely disappears does not even matter to you anymore. You win either way. You bluntly, decisively reject her because you intimately know you deserve so much better, and you deserve individuals who properly value you from the very first second. So right now, exactly today, physically pick just one of these monumental steps. Go completely silent, brutally stop checking her social media, stop texting her, put on your shoes, and step outside to start building your empire. Do it once, then fiercely do it again tomorrow and the next day. Before you even realize it, weeks and months will pass, and you will look back and proudly smile because you are not that weak person anymore. You are vastly better. The one who foolishly left you is inevitably going to see it, they will deeply feel it, and they will endlessly regret it. But you will be entirely too busy being an absolute legend in your own life to even notice their regret. Are you finally ready to take the pen and rewrite the epic ending of your own life? Do not hesitate for even one more second. Assertively comment I start today to permanently commit to your own legendary transformation. If this powerful script deeply inspired you, absolutely do not forget to leave a profound comment and actively share your incredible journey